All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mortgage Coach weekly Friday mastermind. Every Friday, we are doing a mastermind format conversation. Today, the big super guest is Bill Hillestad. What's up, Bill?
Dave, how are you?
I'm good, brother. I love that conversation we had today. We were not today, earlier in the week, and Bill was just raving about a strategy and how every mortgage coach should be using a total cost analysis to generate leads. So I think you said you had a playbook for us. You had a kind of like step-by-step process.
Yeah. I have a training that kind of follows this whole strategy. And so I adapted it a little bit towards just the TCA. And I have all those notes, and we'll kind of go through them today and hit you with some of the very specific steps. I'm happy to share all of those steps with everybody. I've got a couple docs, and then hit some examples of, what kind of content's working.
Love it. So everybody, mortgage coach community, you're part of this community because you guys all use the mortgage coach total cost analysis, which is typically a lead conversion platform, but it can be used to generate leads. In fact, back in 2017, Bill and I did a referral magnet contest, which it's in the YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Referral Magnets, where we had a lot of top loan officers sharing a TCA to a consumer in a way to generate leads. So as my co-host today, we've got Todd Bookspan. What's up, Todd?
Hey, not much. I'm super excited. It was a fun conversation. You and I were catching up on Zoom, and then it was Bill's time and he jumped in. So I got to hear the preview of this, and it made me super excited for what we're all going to learn today. I think it's a great opportunity for something that you're already using, as Dave said, to convert leads, to figure out then how do I use it now to flip the switch and use it as a lead generation opportunity.
Agreed. And hey, by the way, Robert, I don't see attendees in Zoom yet. Could you be sure to hit the broadcast button? Robert, I don't know if you heard that. And then we also have Deborah Bird, social media marketing strategist, guru, manager. What's up, Deborah?
What's up? How is everybody?
We're good. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to say, ask Bill questions, and then bring in real world samples. And then we also have a friend of mine, a mortgage coach leader. He's an executive with Mortgage Unlimited, Rob Taglerini. What's up, Rob?
Doing well. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good, man. So this is Rob's first time. He's the chief marketing officer for Mortgage Unlimited. He's also a client of Bill Hillestad's. And when Bill and I were doing our sync up earlier, he was bragging about some content you created where he's like, it's breaking records. Like, I've never seen anything like this. So I'm like, let's invite him. So good to have you, brother.
Good to be there.
All right. So Bill, you're the guest of honor. Why don't you set the table and start sharing ideas and strategies while we try to get the broadcast feature turned on.
All righty. If nothing else, it'll be a good recording from this, and I get to hang out with you guys. So the goal today is to talk about lead gen, not just, social branding and all the other stuff we do on. No. I want leads. I'm going to put up posts, put money on them. How do I get the highest quality lead, the cheapest leads possible? So I just wanted to hit kind of the underlying fundamental tenets of lead gen first, which is one, and you guys just got to recognize, strangers don't convert. And when they do, it's almost too painful to deal with. I want warm leads. I want people who are familiar with me. There's a rule of 7 that's existed since 1930. It says people got to see you 7 times, although recent studies say it's more like 18 times or 11 times or 20. People don't just go scrolling through Facebook, see a stranger and go, oh, I think I'll call that guy up and refinance my house or pre-qual or whatever. And if they do, they're so flaky, jaded, cynical. I really despise leads. I want warm connections. And that's the goal of a proper lead gen. People think lead gen, and I hear it all the time, and it's usually people that are newer to the business or don't understand what they're doing. They want me to feed them people who are like all lined up and ready to go, and let's where's my 1003? Let's get this sucker going. And it just doesn't work that way. And then everybody bitches and complains about the leads. I had to talk to, look, even the best lead converters in the industry, the big lead gen call centers. I remember being at a conference last year, somebody was bragging about a 1.73% conversion rate on their over $1 million a month spend. They were excited about only having to talk to, say, whatever that is, 55, 60 people to get one to actually do an application. That's what lead gen is if you do it the old fashioned way. And what I'm going to talk to you about is something where you don't have to chase people, you don't have to connect, but the goal, the proper goal when you're doing lead gen is to create a conversation with people. Conversations lead to connections, connections lead to conversions. I'm not trying to get you to go, oh, there's Todd Bookspan, never heard of him, think I'll fill out a loan for him. And yet that's what everybody wants. Send them straight over. No. I just want them to reach out and start some light conversation with you. It'd be like being in a great big nightclub or bar when you were young and single and sending a text to everybody of the opposite sex of the room saying, hey, I'm looking for somebody to hook up with tonight. Who's in? That's what we do. We don't flirt. We don't get to know them. We don't sell ourselves at all. And even if you get somebody who says I'm in, you're probably not going to be happy with the result. That's where you all screw up when it comes to lead gen. So people need to start with a little bitty step first, something to get them to connect with you, and ideally something to get the right people to connect with you. That's a lead magnet. That's what we've got to start with, is something that gives the right person a reason to open a dialogue. So now when we actually get into what are we going to post as it relates to the 2CA, I know Dave's been talking about it a lot lately. He turned me on to the book Hook Point, which I blew through, as well as Brendan Kane's next book or previous book. Hooks are curiosity, there it is, fear, emotion, pattern interrupts, and look, curiosity, no doubt. 5, and by the way, this is Rob's record-breaking and Rob's got a whole lot of record-breaking content, but one of them freaked me out, which was he did one on mortgage myths, and I'll share that here in a moment, but he did mortgage myths and mistakes or something like that. Well, people are curious. They stuck around. They averaged 33 seconds watching this video. It's only like a 42-second video. It's insane how well, but curiosity, fear, mortgage mistakes, 10 things I wish I knew before I bought my first home. Oh man, that's rough. Emotion, obviously, humor, warm and fuzzy, anger, pattern interrupts, anything that's unexpected. Don't say things that they expect. If it's expected, it's invisible. You gotta, what was that again? Make me do a double take. You gotta get my attention. You're hit with about 30,000 messages a day. What's going to stop them? And the last one is relatability. And this is the one that I think might be fear and curiosity are going to work well for the TCA, but relatability I think is going to be a really powerful one, because relatability is when I see something and go, oh, that's me. He's talking to me. Tired of trying to buy a house and putting in what you believe is the highest offer only to come in second and be told you're a backup offer again. Oh, yes, hell yes, I'm tired of that. And I'm not saying that's the one, but anything that makes me go, yeah. Wish you had more hair so you could sport a do like Todd Bookspan. Yes, I do.
Hey, Bill, I
Yeah.
want to jump in real quick because I want all the panelists to start thinking of 2 to 3 really good hooks. Again, the book is Hook Point, really good book, but 2 to 3 good headlines. So at some point, it looks like Bill is going to show us a bunch of good ones, but I want everybody to try to add to this. Let's come up with a whole bunch of good ones, guys.
Right.
Keep going, Bill.
Yeah, because you guys know the space. I've never filled out a 1003 in my life. I know nothing about loans.
Bill, you know the space. You've helped a lot of.
No, I know the
American
space.
chefs.
I know nothing about loans. I don't really know the what you guys know. I've never talked to a borrower. Hang on, panelists and attendees. There we go. I just put a link in chat to this document. So there was your foundational tenets. You got to remember this stuff. Conversations lead to connections. I just want a conversation. So sample hooks. And by the way, Dave, look, there's our 2017, a bit of nostalgia for you. Back in 17, I created all these wrappers. The whole idea is you put your video in the middle of it because you want these meme cards. That's your hook. Something's got to stop the scroll. But pattern interrupts. He got the lowest interest rate on his mortgage and lost big time. pattern interrupt. Why interest rates and fees are not what's important when what matters is your total curiosity, whatever. Don't fall for this mortgage mistake. Rob, you could probably play with one of these. Fear. People hate making mistakes. And I made all these little brand wrappers, and I'm going to just give you guys a quick segue. Instead of making a wrapper meme cards like that, Renee Rodriguez turned me on to this tool when I went to Amplify pre-COVID, and I can't wait to be able to go again. But it's called Clipscribe. The cool thing about Clipscribe is I upload my video, and guys, I'm a video editor. I don't edit videos anymore. I upload my video, write my hook, my headline at the top. It puts my closed captioning down at the bottom, nice and big. I don't like my logo floating up there like that. I was playing with this during a training. And so there we go. I'll keep my logo down over here, scoop my closed captioning over a little bit more. But notice how now I've got my closed captioning, my logo and branding. This is for doing a series, and just FYI, the most effective thing you can do is a series. If you can do, and that's the one that I said, Dave, I would love to do a mastermind on. Let's come up with a series that kind of hits all the analysis tools that Mortgage Coach. But I like to put a number 7 or a number 3 or whatever the tip number is if I'm doing 10 tips. And then down here, this is the closed captioning, but you'll notice I don't use it for the close. I leave the closed captioning in there, but right up front, I want to put things like this, the number 7. So my tip is 10 keys to writing a winning offer without overpaying. Number 7 is to not ask for any personal items or effects. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what you're saying. The bottom down here is your secondary headline, but this is a perfect video and your brand colors, so you can get people used to seeing you and being in front of them, even if they don't stop and look at it. So now where do my hooks go? And this is where I just came up with, and we're not going to go through all these, but 5 smart refi strategies and 5 refi mistakes. And again, series are always the best. Headlines with numbers pull so much better than other headlines. Of the top 20 headlines, more than half of them start with a number. And the best number by far is 10, followed by 5. So almost all my headlines, even if I've only got 3 things, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and number 4 through 10 will say C1 through 3. Or if I've got 13, I'll give them 10 and give them 3 bonus tips. But 10 mistakes that can destroy the potential return on your home, investment, whatever. I'd never work with a loan officer who doesn't do this. Getting ready to, and what would I do after that? Well, I would show them how a TCA works. I want to focus on why mortgage disclosures aren't enough without a total cost analysis. You can't interpret this. Take a look. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. Mortgage decisions without
Hey,
all
Bill,
the information. Yes.
Bill, one thing I wanted that one, why mortgage disclosures aren't enough without a total cost analysis. So I don't know how that will pull versus the others, but I can tell you guys the beauty of that one is that it also gives you a competitive advantage, so that when you do get the lead, you are basically making every other loan officer that's only providing, a disclosure or only providing a fee worksheet. You're attracting them to start a conversation with you, and you're starting that conversation with all of your competition looking inferior. So I just wanted to call that out. And that's also one of the reasons that using a TCA as a lead gen, it's going to create more convertible leads, because you're positioning yourself differently than every other loan officer that you're competing with.
And you need a lead magnet. Remember, you got to put up a post that stops them. The process is always the same. My content has to hook them. That's stopping the scroll. Engage them, give them a reason to watch my video, read my stuff. So up front, don't start with your name or warm up, intro, plot building. Just dive right into something that makes them go, yes, I must hear the rest, like Rob's myths. Then deliver whatever it is, your education. Go on for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Explain this and how a TCA works relative to, show them both on screen, and who could find anything in the disclosures, but here, clean, crisp, clear. Mortgage decisions without all the information are dangerous. 5 reports and then a subhead, which I'd put down below. 5 reports that present the full, and I don't know if there's 5 reports, but then I would have, you know, rent versus buy analysis, the cash out, the bid over ask, whatever. I would have a list of all 5. I would do them as separate videos and go through each report. My lead magnet would be to see the other reports. So here's a list of them, but yeah, I want to see what the reports are. And I would volunteer to do a report for anybody that would look. If you're buying a house, you don't want to make another offer without a bid over ask analysis. Even if you're working with another originator, I'd be happy to do it just for the karma points, whatever. That's the kind of close I'd use.
Bill, I want to jump in on that one. I
Yeah.
have done a lot of interviews over the past 3 weeks, and the one I did with Michelle Castle yesterday, it just hit our YouTube channel. Check it out, guys. She made it so clear that if you're not doing an appraisal gap analysis before the family even makes an offer, that you're not positioning the family to win that offer. And again, just another, it's a super on point market topic right now, that everybody who's buying a home, every realtor who's, you know, helping buyers or sellers, it's a great topic. So I would love for someone to test that headline. And then panel, if you guys could maybe think of some appraisal gap hooks that we could use in a few minutes when Bill is done going through this.
So yeah, but straight up, putting in an offer on a house without one of these is like playing darts blindfolded, whatever. I'm going to try a few headlines like that without one of what? And then I'm going to say an appraisal gap analysis, a bid over ask analysis, whatever it's called, is something that blah, 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 blah. Let me show you what it looks like. And look, if I'm using Zoom, I could go to screen share then and use that to record my video. And I could just walk through how it's going to, and I would definitely go watch that interview with Michelle Castle. But that is a powerful hook. And where you said everybody needs to come up with headlines, I want to highlight that when you're doing this, the whole idea is you want to test everything that pops into your mind, because I don't know which one of these headlines. Honestly, Dave, if you could get everybody to do posts like this, and we could do group support sessions to help people and to look at the analytics, because I would love to figure out what those perfect headlines are. Because when you look at like this is the exact same post 13 times, and my click-through rate ranges from 6% to 1%. And the only difference on this one is targets. Just put one up for Cindy Urban on the multiple offers stuff. And we ran 5 tests and one of them crushed the others. And she said, okay, now run that one. I said, do you mind if I now test against that? And I tried yet another headline. And look at that, 52 cents versus $1.20. So I shut the other one off again. Or we always do these audience builder memes. Deborah Bird made a funny little meme that she sent me last week for you guys that's killing it. It's building a realtor audience, because you can't market to realtors unless they're in your custom audience because they've watched a video. Well, it's building that audience at under a penny. Here's like and I hid the name so nobody can see it, or the spends or anything like that, but the cost per link click on everybody's video for the Modern Mortgage Summit and the Modern Real Estate Summit, you can see that it ranges as high as $25 and all the way down to 32 cents. And yet they're all amazing videos and they're all amazing speakers, but you just don't know what the hook is going to be. So you gotta test. So you don't go, oh, well, I'm going to go through and pick one of these. That's my headline. Nope. Try one, try another one. Try another one. And it's not like you got to put up whole new posts. You put up the post, you hit the duplicate button, and then you change the headline. And then you hit the duplicate button and you change the headline again. And that's it. Or if you're in ClipScribe, you put your headline on the top of the video and you hit the make button and it makes your video. And then you change the headline and you hit the make button and it downloads a new video. So with that, stories. This is where I said relatability, I think, might kill it. And I think it's one that is natural. And that's why I love this approach for loan officers. I can do this because I know this mortgage stuff inside and out. If I'm an avid mortgage coach user, I know this stuff. Well, I can't, and you hit these stories all the time, where I did something amazing. I was going through all Scott Nicholson's stuff and just amazing TCAs, and they were real with clients. I'm like, oh my gosh, can you not just make up fictitious scenarios and say Alex and Bree thought refinancing was just about lowering their payment, and just say, okay, so Alex and Bree figured they could blah, 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 blah. And sure enough, they could lower their payment by X. But worked up a couple more scenarios for them to make them really understand all of their options and option B, option C, option whatever. And wow, that's going to blow people. And do it as a story, because if somebody hears the opening of a story and says, I can relate to that. John and Maria were told blah, 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 blah by their lender, whatever, but here's how they told they couldn't, told they could only, whatever. This mortgage strategy is saving or could save, whatever, hypothetical, X money without changing their payments. Turn it into a quick little story. They called to lower their mortgage payments by $192 a month, but instead were able to remove 47 payments from their mortgage, saving them 129, whatever. You guys know your stories, but make that little headline and just say, okay, and that's it. That's all you do is you open it, you just go, okay. Happens all the time. Clients think they want to lower their payment by a couple $100 and that's going to save them money. But let me show you what real savings looks like. John and Susan, and you got to be short and sweet, and you got to get right to the punch up front, because most people are going to watch it for 7 seconds. But as long as you're testing different headlines, that's really, and by the way, look guys, when I go in here to create an ad in Facebook, all I'm going to do is come in here and say, I want messages. This is how you want them to reply. You want, when you're doing lead gen, you want messages. And I'm going to say continue. And then Facebook's going to pop up. And when I get down to the ad section and I'm building the ad, yeah, I'm going to add my video. I'm going to write my little post text. And I'm going to write my headline. And once I'm done writing my headline, I'm going to hit publish. As soon as I'm done publishing, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say duplicate it. And Facebook's going to give me a copy, and I'm going to go to the copy and I'm going to change the name of it to something so I recognize what it is. And then I'm going to change the headline. I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to do that over and over and over. And you end up with stuff like this. Rob's post. You guys should go check out his work. Like I said, he's got a lot of record-setting videos. I do not have his marketing creative video skills or whatever. But this real estate myths, it's just music, and it runs through these myths, and it's well under a penny per through play. Anybody who watches this is clearly a hot lead. Now we have a new version going up in which it gives them the 3 mortgage myths, but here's 3 of the top 12 mortgage myths. And then it offers them the full report. So it says, click below to get the full report, because all I have to do when I'm in here doing one of these little ads is here I am in an ad, and it's a lead gen ad. And all I'm going to do is come down to the message template. I might change I don't like send message. I want, learn more as my call to action button. I'll bang out all my little headlines and do my test. But one of the most important things to test is your message, because you have a message template. When they click, and I said to see the other videos, to get the report, to see an example of a total cost analysis, to get your own total cost analysis, to get your own appraisal gap analysis, click down below. When they click, it's going to take them into Messenger, and you're going to come into Messenger, And if you're using text only, and it's usually the easiest, you have three options. You can do frequently asked questions, buttons, or saved replies. If I want to have multiple options they can click on, I usually use FAQs. It doesn't have to be a question, but if I'm going to give them, to get your own appraisal gap strategy, if I only need 3 pieces of data, yes, I'd like to get my appraisal gap strategy. Automatic response. Fantastic. I'll get that together right away for you. I need to know 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Boom. If, like in Rob's case, I said, get the full report. All I do is I say, and by the way, put a whole bunch of sample scenarios and what to use for a lead magnet. I gave you a bunch of examples, the full report, the list of, a link to a website, and the other videos in the series. A report like the one in the video, after you show them a TCA, offer to do one for them, or an appraisal gap analysis. I'm not going to bore you with all the targeting and optimization, but this is who you want to target, how you want to target them. Messenger message. Hey, thanks for reaching out, Dave.
Bill,
Yes.
Let's take a break right here because I want to get some feedback from everybody else, and I want to make sure everybody's really consuming what they're seeing. So stop sharing your screen real quick.
Yes.
And we'll get to this entire document. Remember, guys, Bill shared this entire document, and we're going to get to it. And Patrick, thank you for the questions. So I'm gonna go to you first, Rob, because he called out a piece of social media that you created that he said is record breaking. So just describe what you created, and then I'm going to come to you, Deborah, because you manage over 200. You help over 200 loan officers, including Deborah or Denise Donahue. So I'm going to come to you next with ideas and strategies, and then we'll come back to you, Bill. So Rob, tell us a little bit about what you guys did.
Yeah, our focus, as Bill, pointed out so brilliantly, was to get them hooked. So we did mix. As everybody knows, the spring market was coming. There was not a lot of houses and a lot of people looking, and so we were getting a lot of feedback. Just the LOs were just telling us from the street. We're getting a lot of feedback. People asking all these questions. So let's put something together. We're always trying to give something to educate our whoever they are, social media followers. So we put something together, and it was the 10 myths, the mortgage myths. And now, as Bill said, our plan is to kind of make it into a lead gen situation where they're going to click through and do the Facebook Messenger as well. So now from there, we've just started to build pieces that are just like that piece. But again, as Bill put up with all the different questions. So like one of our new ones is going to be, let me pull it up.
And by the way, if you want to show something on your screen, feel free. And then one of the things I want to know is how much of an audience did you build? So you did that. Everybody that's clicking it, you're now building a Facebook audience so that when you do continue to do campaigns and you drive more hooks, more call to actions, you're able to generate leads. So I'd love to know how big of audience you've built so far.
Okay, on that particular one, or just overall, since we sort of started all of our.
Yeah, since you started working with Bill, how big of an audience have you built?
43,000. I can answer that for him. I'm looking at his analytics.
Okay, cool.
And 31,000 realtors.
Okay, cool. So go ahead with what you were saying there, Rob.
Yeah, so we're just trying to evolve that strategy to the next level. So on Thursdays is usually our video shoot days that we do in the studio. So the newest one we did, we're going to do 10 mortgage secrets from the CEO of a mortgage company that the industry doesn't want you to know. And I got Justin to Justin being the CEO of Mortgage Unlimited, sort of step outside his usual self, which he usually tries to present very, calm and deliberate, and try to shake him up a little bit and sort of get a little, almost like he's annoyed a little bit. Like, I've had enough, the industry has too many secrets and I'm going to start telling you what they are. So don't worry. It's not anything too crazy, but it's good stuff. And yeah, now we're just experimenting with this, as Bill said, 10s or 5s or a dozen or 15, whatever it is. And then building out a really solid video that's about between 1 and 3 minutes that gives 2, 3, 4 of the juicy ones. And then we make a PDF version of the entire thing, say it's 12. So we're going to do a video with 3, and then we'll do a PDF with the entire 12, but you have to click on our link below in order to get that PDF.
Love it. So, hey, mortgage coach community, it looks like we've got another company to watch. We've got and Dan Keller may be showing up soon. So Dan Keller has always given a lot of value, shared. Denise Donahue, Kelly Zetlove. I mean, the list goes on. So Deborah, let's bring you on stage because you help over 200 loan officers with this. You consult with them. Guys, what you just saw Bill go through, I mean, it's a lot. Even when you know what to do, there's a lot of work. And that's what Deborah does. I mean, her and her team manage both the strategy and the execution of a lot of this. And she also, just in full disclosure, guys, she is the social media manager for both the Modern Mortgage Summit and the Modern Real Estate Summit. She collaborates with Bill. So there's things that her and Bill collaborate with. But Deborah, tell us what you're doing. What's that? What's that, bro?
I said, I can't come up with the creative. She's all the creative. I'm just the back end
Aw.
nerd part.
Yeah. So give us some
Thank
ideas.
you, Bill. Okay, so one thing I wanted to highlight on is in the very beginning, Bill said you're trying to attract the right people. So you really have to know your audience and what is their pain point. And one of the, in fact, Cultural Outreach, their recent report said 44% struggle with saving for a down payment, and 34% are unable to find a home within budget. So a current pain point of your audience could be they don't have the funds for a down payment. So one hook that I was thinking of is 5 down payment myths you probably still believe. Coming up with ideas around that very real struggle. Another one, when you said about the appraisal gap, I feel like a lot of people use myths personally. So I like to go with mysteries or something a little bit different. So I would say something like 3 appraisal gap mysteries solved, so it brings that curiosity. And then one I also wanted to highlight was, I think it was Alex Cook, who you did, was it this week or last week? Maybe
It was a while ago, but go ahead and tell that one.
He had the single mom refinance.
Right.
Like, talk about relatable. And in the interruption of pattern where she came in adamant about, I think it was not increasing her loan amount. I'm trying to remember all the details, but she wanted to get $5,000 cash back to do some renovations. And he taught her by using a total cost analysis of a different strategy, how you could, I think she eliminated about $1,000 worth on a monthly cash flow and reinvested it and actually had retirement. And this is paradigm shifts for people who aren't taught this information in school. And look at what he just did for this single mom with a refinance. Now, he said in his video, for those who haven't watched it, that message would not have been trusted or anchored without the demonstration of a TCA with numbers and graphs to solidify the information that he was delivering. Because at the end of the day, we still look like salespeople. But when you have truth in numbers and data, that's what allowed her to make a confident and secure decision that she could trust, that was in her best interest. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, that was more than 2 cents. That was, first of all, 2 incredible headlines. Guys, remember, this is recorded. It'll be in the YouTube channel. You can go back and listen to it. You've got Bill's document. Todd, before we bring Bill Hillestad back on to complete, go through his thing, and folks that are putting questions in chat, we will get all of them answered, promise you. I just want to make sure Bill gets to deliver the full playbook that he came with. Todd, any thoughts, comments, or questions?
Just a couple of things. One is Bill's so kind and generous to share with us, but my head always spins in here, and I always want to, I know you're running your platform, Bill. How can people who don't want to do it themselves sign up for your, I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Simple Social?
Yeah, Social Simple. That's
socialsimple.com. So I think it's just really critical that we point that out. And I think everything that we're saying about these 5 points or 10 points is really critical. And I think you just have to remember too, what does the consumer think, right? So when we're talking about appraisal gap, I also think you've got to talk about, 5 critical strategies when bidding over the asking price, right? Remember, we often talk in that industry lingo. And so you've got 2 options, right? You can use appraisal gap because then you get them thinking like, what the heck is an appraisal gap? But you can also put it into the format of what they're trying to do, like what they need to know when they're bidding over the asking price. And those are the things that it seems to me would be critical. What's your thought on that, Bill, between using our lingo that we know that'll raise that, like that question in their head versus pointing out in non-industry terms?
I did a training on this yesterday. If somebody gets a chance, I'm sure it's probably up in Social Simple. It was free training. And we hit just that specific topic. A lot of it was about writing a winning offer, but just go out and Google writing a winning offer and see what pops up. There will be at least 10 articles that have a number, 26 tips, 13 ways, 10 whatever, 5 whatever. But it is about winning an offer and the multiple offer bid war. It's all about offers. So I wouldn't use the appraisal gap stuff. I would use that if I was targeting my realtors. I can tell you that I've had a couple clients do that, and it really gets great traction with the realtors when you're talking about how to overcome. I think I saw something you guys had up last week, Dave, where somebody talked about a 86% offer win rate. I can tell you from a test that that's anytime you can quote a number. And the more obscure the number is, the better. If you said 90%, it wouldn't be as good as 86, by the way. But that's what people want. How would you like an 86% chance of winning your next offer?
So by the way, guys, that was Michael Harrington out of Houston. And he did do a disclaimer that, hey, I'm in Houston. If I was in Austin, I wouldn't have that win rate. So he goes, we are in a multiple, like I'm always dealing with 6 to 12. But there are more competitive markets. But Michael, if you're listening to this, there's a headline for some social media content. Hey, before we move off Todd, I do want to remind folks that Win by Noon has a store. Todd, what shirt are you wearing from the Win by Noon store today?
Well, it's funny that you ask. It's my brand new Every Day is for Winning by Noon, Win by Noon shirt. I guess I could stand up taller and so everyone could see it. But it's funny because I actually got stopped the other day walking into a restaurant by somebody who saw this shirt and they're like, oh, I love that. It wasn't a person in the mortgage or real estate industry. So it's been kind of fun to have something that's a little more exciting than just my normal boring logo shirt.
Well, guys, go ahead, Todd.
No, I was just saying, and I just love it too. It's of course one of our most popular items because it's the only non-Win by Noon item is the Mortgage Coach stickers that you can purchase in 3 sizes there. It's just shop.winbynoon.com.
And guys, everybody needs to get Mortgage Coach and Win by Noon stickers on your mouse pad. So go check it out. And if you want to represent with a shirt, I gotta start wearing Win by Noon shirts myself. And I got to get more Mortgage Coach shirts. So anyways, check out the store. So before we go back to you, Bill, Deborah, you work so closely with Bill on, not only us, but other clients, and you're the content creator. Any questions we should ask Bill before he gets back into his outline?
I would say giving either loan officers tips on when you said create a conversation and these hooks that you're writing. I don't know what do they do? Like what system should they have in place? Because that's where a lot of leads get lost is you can build the audience or generate the leads, which is why, Bill, just so you know, I refer clients to you when they're looking for more lead gen of actual leads coming in, mainly because the management of equipping loan officers with the process that's strategic, that once you get the lead, how do you incubate them? How quickly are you responding? Do you have a bot set up? And some of that will overwhelm them. But what would you say is the best way to incubate these leads when you get them?
So my personal favorite, because the probability of connecting with a lead fell from 28% down to 20% last year. It's ever even getting them on the phone. People won't answer their phone even when they fill out a form. So I don't do that much anymore. If it's what a client wants, I will. But I drive them to Messenger. So when they click, and that's kind of what I was just getting into, when they click the see a sample total cost analysis or a sample of a bid over ask price analysis to find out what's smart. When they click to get anything, I always pop open Messenger with a personal message, you know, hi Dave, thanks for watching my video and reaching out. The link below has the rest of the video series for you, or with Rob has the report for you. By the way, blah, blah, blah. And I just, as if I were texting them personally, I try to get something in there that gives them a reason to reply. Here's the other video series. If you are actually getting ready to, I got a checklist I think you'd find valuable.
Oh, that's good.
Now they're going to have to reply to me, but I'm just trying to get them to connect. And by the way, when it comes in Messenger, you have their full profile there. There's like a built-in CRM of sorts in Facebook where I can take notes. But a lot of times it's the, by the way, I couldn't help but notice you've got a Great Dane. I love Great Danes, whatever. And I'm being out of the box, but anything that starts them talking to you. Quickens call center tries to keep people on the phone for 38 minutes because they know that if they'll spend that much time, that connection will be formed. I just need them to reply. So I'm going to offer them something else in most of my initial messages. And then I'm going to write a couple more messages that I'll send them within the next 24 hours. One that evening, one the next morning. So every day. And by the way, in Messenger, you have saved replies. So it's not like you got to write these every time. I'm going to create a saved reply that probably has a little GIF in it and says something else, and it's got a link to a video, or it offers them something. If you'd like, I'd be happy to send blah, 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 send one over. Or if you'd like me to run one of these analysis for you, I'd be happy to. Even if you're working with somebody else, I just want them to reply, because as soon as they reply, as soon as I can go back and forth, now I can find out if they're pre-qualified, if they're working with somebody, whatever. I just want to open the dialogue. So that's where all those little, and I don't have to show them or go through them, but know that in that document, and I'll post another one that has a bunch more sample message replies. I just automatically send them to Messenger, have that, because it inserts their name. Hi, Dave. Thanks, blah, blah, blah. Here's your thing. By the way, if you really are, I also have a blah, blah, blah you might want, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes out to them. And it tries to get them to, and then I got a button with the link, or I might have multiple buttons. So here's the report you asked for. One of them will typically say, I'm not really a video person. How about a brief chat instead? And they can click that and no problem. And then I'll hop on the phone with them or schedule a time, do whatever. You can put whatever you want, whatever links you want, whatever videos you want. And it's all built into Facebook. You don't need to go get a chat bot or anything.
Love it.
The only other, oh, go ahead.
No, you go
I was gonna
ahead.
say the other question I would have is, would you give everyone kind of your maybe top 5 tips of minimum amount of ad spend a day and minimum length of time? Because I get that question a lot of how much should I be spending, or anything that would kick them out or get a rejected ad.
Great question. So when you do this, and in those notes, there is a suggestion for example. So yes, I'm going to optimize for Messenger. I'm going to use interest-based targets. I have to claim the housing category, and I'm going to hit people that are interested in, you know, Zillow, Trulia, buying a house, mortgage calculators, whatever. I got those. And I want an audience when I'm doing lead gen of at least 250,000. Sometimes the area is just too small, but if I can get it up to about 250,000 to 1 million, it gives Facebook a lot of wiggle room. I will do, because you can do lifetime budget, which people always want to do. $100. I don't want to spend daily forever. Nope. Start daily. Start at $5. I typically start at 20 because I'm impatient and I want to know the results quicker, and I'll shut it off quicker. But recognize that you can dial that number up or dial that number down anytime you want. So this is where you create your little message thing. And that's kind of what we were talking about. But then what Deborah just brought up, yes, I want to leave that, is I will come in and set my budget. And again, I'll always run lots of copies, lots of tests, lots of versions. You're going to have to spend about $20 to test a version before you really know. But then at the end of the day, it always just comes down to a daily ad spend. And I will set my daily ad spend to, like I said, $5 to $20. when I'm hitting strangers, because it's all a test. It's all a test. Never spend a lot of money until you know it works. Then it's just a knob you can turn. As soon as I know that my leads are costing me $6.49 on average, then I just turn it up and turn it down. By the way, this little ad right here is like over 2 years old. They've been using the same ad for over. The moment you get one that works, you go in and you exclude anybody who's already clicked on it from your audience targeting, so they won't keep getting it. But now I don't have to worry. It's always going to find new people for me, new leads for me. It's not going to keep hitting the same people, and they just keep using the same one, and they will. And you can see they've spent a lot of money on this, like 15 grand. They'll just call and ask me to turn it up, turn it down. And I just change the price up, change the price down, but start small, test, find one that works. And then you just come over here. And by the way, if I want to turn them off, I come over and I click, 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 turn them off. If I want to turn them on, click, turn them back on. And that's all you do is, yeah, I want more leads, on, off, on, off. Start small, go big.
Love that. And Eric, or Alex Cook in that Single Mom Refi, if you listen to it, it's on a YouTube channel. He talks how the first time he ran it, he put $200 on it and got 2 closed loans. And then a month later, he's like, oh, let's try it again. Put it, I can't remember, 100 or 200, 2 more closed loans. And at the time of the last interview, he had done over 6 closed loans as a result of one TCA story where he just talked about a woman, single mom refi, and Deborah already told you it was beautiful.
I did not know he had that many. I'm going to call him after this and bust his chops, because now he should have that exclusionary audience so that he's not showing, because you're like, I don't want to keep showing the same. Nope. You can exclude your friends. You can exclude anybody who's watched it. And then you can just keep, as long as it's working. If you're buying loans for $1,000 a piece, your only question should be, how many can I buy? If you're telling me $20 bills for 15 bucks, I'll max out my credit cards buying them. I don't care. If you're getting them for 300 bucks, 500 bucks, well, you're nuts.
Yeah, he was getting them for 100 bucks. You know, I mean, he was, $100 alone was his lead cost. So yeah, give him
on that. Except I know his issues.
Give him a hard time. Well, let's do this. We got 13 minutes left. You had your playbook. Did you go through your whole playbook? Or because we do have some Q&A, but I want to make sure you go through that whole document.
Okay. Real quick, I just want to show people in Messenger. So now I've in Messenger, they've clicked to get something or to talk to me and I really would love to see people create a post with a fictitious story and show an example of a refi, a cash out, whatever. And then so the post is the one, and just say, if you'd like to get one of these yourself or whatever, click down below if you'd like to see the other analyses, so that whichever headline will basically said mortgage decisions without all the numbers and all the facts are nuts. This is the only way you can make a smart mortgage decision. And then I go through and I show them one and say, by the way, I do 7 different versions of these. Click down below to see them all. But when they come in here, I can give them the options that they see. And then it just starts this dialogue, and I get to go back and forth with them. And like for these guys, there are thousands of messages that come in. And look, every green dot is a appointment that has been set by the client that said, yeah, can I just, and they give them their Messenger link. And it's not like they're typing all these responses. Look, you just save all your replies. So there's kind of your playbook. I will go back over to turning this in. Yes, I got Messenger message examples. I have example follow-up messages. You want to do 2 in the next 24 hours. You're not allowed to message them after that if they don't reply to you. But I got to do a couple things to try and open the dialogue. So I put a couple examples in there for you. And then you're targeting, I said, any interest, just go into the targeting and type in first-time buyer. It'll pop up. Then you'll say suggestions. Facebook will start throwing suggestions at you that are like that. If it looks in, oh yeah, anybody who's interested in a single family residence, anybody who's interested in refinance. If it's below 50 million, if they're interested in real estate and it's 500 million, skip it. Then you're going to do Messenger. You can do lead gen and traffic we don't have time. Just do Messenger. Trust me, you connect with 100% of them. They don't feel threatened. They convert easier than anything you've ever done. And one person can handle 10 times as many leads on Messenger as they can if they're dialing. And if you've got an unlicensed assistant, if they're your replies and they're just forwarding them, I'll let you make your own decision or determination if that's compliant or not. But it's not like they're talking about mortgages. They're just using your saved replies and sending Todd's stuff over. And then the moment you're done putting up that post, you go create a custom audience. And I create one that it's people who watch 10 seconds of my video in the last 30 days. If they watch 10 seconds of my video, they're interested. That's an eternity on Facebook. They care about my topic. And then I'm going to create one that's anybody who clicked on a button, and it's just custom audience, Facebook page, anybody who clicked any call to action. And then I'm going to exclude that audience from my 30-second or my 30-day, 10-second view audience. Now, because for every person who clicks, there's going to be 100 people who don't click. I'm going to keep dripping on those. Retargeting will get you up to 4, even 5 times the results by hitting people. Because remember, they got to see us 7 to 11 times. So once I have everybody who's watched my video in the last 30 days, I'm going to keep dripping on them with other videos. That's why I love series. When you can do a series, and by the way, I'll put this one in there too. This was my video series class, but these are all of my mortgage, and you'll notice a lot of these are mortgage. I love Mortgage Coach more than anything else when it comes to headlines, because it's valid, it's real. I'm curious. I don't want to make a mistake. People are scared to death to make a mistake. Myths, mysteries, stuff like that. I think it's awesome, but that's it. I'm going to crank out winning offers. There's all the headlines that I had for that, but I'm going to just continue. And that's why I like the series, because if you do 10 things that, and by the way, look at this, mortgage myths, 8, 5, 14, 6. It's not that you got to make these up. You're not going to plagiarize, but there's your support. Mortgage mistakes, 6, 10, 7, 9. Wow. It just keeps, what else do we have? Mortgage secrets, 6, 10, 5. Want to reduce mortgage interest costs, 7, 10. Tricks to qualify for more home, or under 5%. Anything I search on, it feeds me all the things I need. If you could shoot 10 quick tips, 5 quick tips. I love Deborah's headline. I don't remember exactly what it was about the down payment. If you made 5 down payment tips, or there are 7 ways to buy a house with less than 5,000 or 5% down. And then again, number 5 is USDA, blah, 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 blah. To see the list of all 7, well, they click and then they go to your playlist on Facebook. Meanwhile, you take the other 6 tips and you start dripping on everybody who watched your video. So in your playbook, you want to make sure that everybody who watches your video, any of your videos, continues to see you at least once or twice a week. That's true. And that's what I do with all my clients. Somebody who watches one of your videos for 3 seconds is 26 times more likely to connect with you in the future than a new stranger. They're 3 times more likely to connect with you than your own Facebook likers, followers. That's your fan base. That's your Uber farm. That's your personal network. You just push out this content, all your mortgage, and they're like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm getting a, yes, you'll be getting hundreds and hundreds of people that are watching your videos and turning into your fans. Look, Shayla Gifford's been at this since January 1, 926,000 video plays. I can tell you she's got over 75 days of viewership. Carl Spiteri's been at it for a year. He's got 2.9 million views. and 207 days of total viewership. But it's all the people. When you look at this and go, look, he's a reverse guy. Look at this. A reverse mortgage is safe. Fear. Remember fear? Look at that. 38-second average play time. 7,700 through those 7,700 people who watched it for an average of 38 seconds are contemplating a reverse mortgage, and they view him as an authority. And now he can drip on them for half a cent to a cent per impression.
So Bill, let's do this. We got 5 minutes.
Yep.
We could go all day long. I want to make sure, guys, everyone knows there's 2 playlists in the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel now. There's this TCA magnets, and I pulled some of the best videos from our contest a few years ago. We're going to be getting more between myself, Bill, and Deborah. Also want to remind you guys of the Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage playlist. So this is lead magnets for agents. So, you know, as I told you before, Deborah Donahue, does the content. She is our strategist and our manager, helps me with Mortgage Coach, helps with Modern Mortgage Summit. So she's a resource to you. Deborah, if anyone wants to create a TCA magnet or a Agent Advantage video, what's your contact information?
info@plugandplaysm.com. They just need to send me an email.
Yeah, so and
I'm laughing, Dave, because you have to take a shot because you called me Deborah Donahue.
Oh.
So Deborah Bird. So if Shannon is on this or listens to this, that was her idea. Anytime you get the name mixed up.
All right, thank you. And I do need that, so I quit doing that. So Deborah Bird, everybody, she can help you with content and strategy. And lead gen is only part of it. Remember, guys, if you could have a more successful lead gen campaign if you've got a brand, you know, if you've got a trusted brand. And Denise Donahue is a great example of that. And then of course, Bill is the Facebook Mortgage Coach Ninja. Lots of great videos. He's the one that can, you know, help you get massive distribution on the ones that matter most and help you build your audience. And Deborah and Bill collaborate a lot, not only with Todd, but with other mortgage coaches. So Rob, we got 3 minutes left, and Todd, I'm going to have you close it out. But Rob, any questions we missed from Bill, or is there anything you want to say before we go into wrap up mode?
Well, I actually did want to give Deborah some props. One of her taglines was about down payments. And one of the most successful videos that Bill and I have ever done is myths about down payments. And it winds up being like one of the most asked questions that the LOs on the ground for us ever hear, because people still believe they need 20% down to get into a house. So we put out these myths about down payments, and that did super well. So
it got through plays at 0.6%, which is yet another record. I've never had anybody get a through play on a video. And you got to realize the 20,000 people that watch that so far, they're thinking about a down payment. They wouldn't be watching it. Well, they cost 0.6% up to 20,000 people. What is that? Like $120. That one, I forgot all about that, Rob. That needs to be next on your, by the way, Rob's, you should start a hook business. You're the hook guy. You and Deborah need to team up and
well, I was saying Deborah came up with that. Deborah came up with that, in 2 minutes. So she's pretty good too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Training. I can't do the content.
No doubt, guys. So hey, we put links to everything that's been brought up in the call. There's a link to. Remember to represent Win by Noon. And if you do not have a Mortgage Coach sticker on your device, you're also losing leads. These are lead magnets. And we are starting to get in coffee shops again. So, put these lead magnets on your stuff and you'll get some leads. Todd, any closing thoughts? Bring us home, brother. Oh, I just realized Todd is on mute without the camera. So I will be Coach Todd Bookspan. Now, remember, guys, we got fire hose with a lot of ideas. We need to make sure we figure out what are the 2 or 3 things that you're going to pull from this. And if you do not schedule a jam session to take away the notes, you're not going to get this stuff done. And remember, you always got to win by noon. That means you got to start early. You've got to book in your day, know what you're going to do before you start your day. And that's how we win by noon. So Todd, let me know if I did pretty good on my Todd Bookspan close. Rob, it's great to have you in the Mortgage Coach community for the first time, brother. Hopefully not the last time. So
Thank you, everybody.
anything you ever want to share in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group, if you want to, like, hey guys, check this out. We killed it. We love value like that. So please be active in the community.
Will do.
And Deborah Bird, good, always good having you. You brought a lot of value. Any closing thoughts you have, Deborah, before we wrap it up?
No, I was going to say with my win by noon sticker, what I like to use it for is it's my anchor. So when I see the sticker on my computer, it's my reminder that one, I'm a winner, and winners who win bigger win by noon. So that's my visual reminder.
We might need to make a sticker out of what you just said. You
Yeah.
made kind of a cool rhyme. And
You're welcome.
and Bill Hillestad is the guest of the day. Any closing thoughts from you, brother?
No, you hit it, Dave, but just please do this. I know I'm not a good teacher. I'm a nerd. Ignore all the extra stuff. Just pick one thing. Just do one imaginary story, one fictitious scenario, and try a handful of headlines and put it up, and then offer to run a whatever the report is that you're talking about for people, or offer to show them an example of one and put it up. Dave, I think you should find a way to have Rob create a couple of his magical little videos, maybe use some of Deborah's content and come up with some, because he does it for original, so they don't have to shoot it. But if we did we just need examples of people would come up with this stuff. I would be so happy to test 50 different headlines for you and figure out what works and which ones knock it out of the park.
So we're over time. You just threw a challenge out there. So hey, Rob and Deborah, what about a collaboration where you create and you pick whether you want to be in the Agent Advantage playlist or you do a TCA magnet, but you guys do a little collab and see if Bill could blow it up and get 100,000 views. Is that interesting to you guys?
Sure.
Challenge accepted, Dave.
All right. Well, Bill started it. So, all right, guys.
It's on.
So stay tuned. We'll see how quick they can turn that around and put something amazing in the Mortgage Coach playlist. And in the meantime, guys, hopefully you got value from today's call. Give us a like down below. Share this with your mortgage friends and have an awesome weekend. This call is a wrap. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys.